Welcome to the Zaxby's pregame show.
Chris Delambert here with my good friend, Hector Perez. What's going on, Hector?
Nothing much, man. You know, I didn't expect it to be this cold today, but I'm glad I came prepared with a scarf and some gloves.
You came prepared, but you came prepared like a fella that's going to beat it out of here as soon as we get off the air. I'm going to be here for another 3 hours or so, and I'm a little underdressed, I am afraid, but we'll see how it shakes out. I'm going to have to take a jacket from somebody, so
Well,
look out. It might be yours. All right, now you're the marketing director for 11 stores?
Yes, that is correct.
And
well, I'm one of the marketing directors. You got Rod as well.
Okay.
You know, he's unfortunately not here tonight, but hey, we've got two people that are on the job, and you know, we make it work.
All right, very good. So the Chipotle sandwich.
Yes.
How's that? How are sales for that going?
It's actually going pretty well. I actually had one this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was on the road this morning, and I was like, you know what, I got to get something to eat, and I didn't want to, you know, pay for something. So I went by, and I was like, hey, guys, you know, can you guys cook me up a little sandwich? They're like, oh, I got you, man. So it was actually a really good sandwich. And,
all right.
You know, anybody that wants to try it, you know, it comes with the fried filet, it comes with jalapenos, it comes with pepper jack cheese.
All right,
so
very good.
Super good.
All right, and Monday, Veterans Day.
Yes.
You guys have a special offer for veterans and their spouses. Is that correct?
Yes. If they come in with just a military ID, they'll be able to grab one of our fried filet sandwiches.
All right, and what are those hours? Is that all day?
Hey, that's all day on Monday.
So theoretically, I could go to each of your 11 stores on Monday and get 11 sandwiches?
Yes, theoretically, yes.
That's frowned upon, though?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they would know, you know. They might recognize you every single one, but I highly doubt that.
All right. Well, very good. So you're going to stick around for the game?
Yeah, I'm actually going to stick around for a little bit, you know, as long as, you know, my body lets me. It's been a while since I've been in the cold.
I hear you. Well, you know, it's a beautiful this is football weather, so we can't really complain.
That is true.
And there's not a drop of precipitation anywhere, not a cloud in the sky, and I don't believe I really just said that. I got to touch wood. But no, it's a beautiful night. Senior night here at Lee County, the Brick City Bowl. Lee County playing to keep their perfect record intact and win a conference title outright. Southern Lee with a chance to be a spoiler and sneak in the back door to get to force a three-way tie for the conference title. So there's a lot of excitement tonight. This place will be jammed. Great night for football and a great way to end the regular season in the Tri-County 6. We're excited about it, and thank you, Zaxby's, for being such a big part of this year and every year. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you very, very much, sir.
Well, thank you. We would love to be a part of it. It's actually kind of weird for me to be back at the school. I went to school here, so it's going to be back with the Jackets.
Very good. All right. You go Jackets. I'll offset that with go Cavs. I don't know. I got to give equal time. I think it's an FCC regulation. But no, great night for both schools. We can't wait to see how this unfolds. Great to be a part of this. And again, thanks, Zaxby's.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, it's back! Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag?
No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
Welcome to Paul B. Gay Stadium in Sanford, North Carolina, home of the Lee County Yellow Jackets and the annual event that we like to call the Brick City Bowl. Guys, this is a huge, huge night of football. I'm Chris Delambert, Big Don Clayton, and my radio partner making his debut on TV this year, Brandon Atkins. Guys, this is a huge, huge game. Lee County comes in undefeated, looking to run off their third consecutive undefeated regular season. 10-0. If they win tonight, they're the conference champions, period. Union Pines would be the second-place team in the Tri-County 6. Southern Lee would wind up third and possibly out of the playoff mix. Southern Lee, of course, is hoping to upset the apple cart. With a victory, they force a three-way tie atop the Tri-County 6, and then all kinds of craziness ensues to figure out who's in first, second, and third place. Don, you are an astute observer of the Southern Lee Cavaliers. What do they have to do to win tonight?
Well, you know, whenever you play the Brick City Bowl, you can just throw out the records. I mean, the records just go out the door with this ball game. You've got these kids, they know each other well, they played Pop Warner football together. They talk to each other on a weekly basis, but whenever the Brick City Bowl comes up, you can throw the record out of the window. These boys are going to be ready to play tonight, so we could have a very close game. It's going to be really exciting, I think. Lee County has won the last 2 Brick City Bowls, so as a matter of fact, they haven't even allowed a touchdown, much less a victory from Southern Lee in the last 2 Brick City Bowls. So the Cavs are going to come out tonight ready to roll.
But as a Cav guy, I'm a little surprised that you left out of your equation there. Southern Lee won 3 straight prior to dropping the last 2.
That
So
was
good on you not being a homer.
2014, 2015, 2016. We three-peated the Brick City Bowl, but the last 2 years have not been very favorable for the Cavaliers.
All right, well, the Cavaliers have got some explosive athletes that they'll try to get in space tonight. The challenge for them is up front. Lee County rolls out a much bigger line on both sides of the ball. Southern Lee's going to have to out-scheme them, get athletes in space. Lee County's not going to do anything out of the ordinary. They're not going to out-trick you. They're going to run right down your throat. And if Southern can stop that tonight, we've got ourselves an interesting ball game. If not, it could be a struggle. We'll go to the field.
New Image Media presents the NFHS Game of the Week. Brought to you by Crossroads Ford. Big city deals from a dealer with a hometown feel.
It's my favorite time of the year. Football is back. I would like to personally invite you to come down for your next new or pre-owned vehicle purchase. With one of the largest new and pre-owned inventories in the area, come see us today for discounts that the competition simply can't match or beat. If you drive in Sanford, why not buy in Sanford? Come see me, the deal maker. Come and get that big town deal with that small town feel right here at Crossroads Ford in Sanford.
The expectation was that Southern Lee and Lee County would play for the conference title in this game tonight. A couple of things have happened. Union Pines, with the upset of Southern Lee 2 weeks ago, really made this interesting. But Union Pines' work wasn't done. They had to win out to create this scenario, and they did. Not the least of which was the victory last night. They moved their game up to Thursday night and beat Western Harnett in their conference finale 60-7. So Union Pines looks locked in to host a playoff game for the first time in school history. Lee County's going dancing one way or the other, but they won a conference title. Southern Lee, Don, do they need a win tonight to get into the playoffs?
You know, I think they do need a win tonight, or if not a win, at least a close matchup. You know, it doesn't need to be a 70-2 blowout or a 50-14 blowout. They need to stay close. They need to prove themselves. But I'm going to tell you something. Do not count out the Southern Lee Cavaliers tonight. They are hungry for a victory. They believe they let one slip away at Union Pines. You see how great Union Pines has been thus far. So I think it's going to be a really good contest, and I'm excited.
Well, throughout the week, I had the opportunity to talk to players from both teams. And it was very interesting. You might be surprised that each of the Southern Lee players that I spoke to said, this is a special night. This is the night we circle on our calendar at the beginning of the season. The Lee County players, on the other hand, were quick to say, this is just another ball game. I think Southern Lee tonight is playing with house money. They can let it all hang out. There's no pressure on them. This is a Lee County team that has 3 consecutive undefeated seasons on the line. There are expectations here and around the state that this team's going to challenge for a 3A state championship. A loss, stubbing their toe to Southern Lee, would be an enormous blow to all those hopes. Southern Lee, we'll see what they've got tonight. Trey Underwood lined up to kick it off. Southern will receive. Trey Underwood at this point is the 5th highest scorer in North Carolina State history as a kicker. Awesome. Isn't it? Yeah, it's an amazing stat, an amazing feat, and his numbers will continue to accumulate the longer Lee County plays, which they hope is several more weeks.
Yeah, it's an amazing stat. But I'll tell you right now, you know, you'd mentioned about Lee County saying this is just another game. Well, perhaps it is to them. But let me tell you, when State plays Carolina, Carolina plays Duke, it's not just another game. These kids know what's on the line. You can see it in their enthusiasm.
Onside attempt by Lee County. Ball gets through the Cavaliers. It's loose, and there's a scrum. Referees will umpile them. This would be a huge turn of events to start the game.
Cavs got it.
No jumping around by either side yet. They umpile.
Cavs got the ball.
And the Cavaliers do come up with it. That was a tenuous moment. All right, Cavaliers will take over 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line, set up on the left hash. DeAndre McAllister, the junior quarterback, in his 4th start of his career.
Yeah.
5th start. Thanks for the correction. DeAndre McAllister, of course, took over at quarterback when senior quarterback Thomas Harrington, the 3-year starter, went down with a wrist injury.
You got Ingram and Mays in the backfield.
All right, the hand is up the middle to Rodney Ingram, and he is moving the pile, breaks a couple tackles to be close to a 1st down, bring up 2nd and short.
Trying to find my my train sound effect.
I was looking for the train horn, and I realized I was in the wrong building for that. Don, of course, does PA duty at Southern Lee. All right, Southern works. If this is the first time you've seen them this year, this is the methodical pace that you'll see all night. They run there's a lot of debate between my normal color man and I, Nate Cochran, as to whether this is a pistol or shotgun. But we'll call it a pistol for tonight, just to be fair or clear. Ingram is the up back. Keshawn Mays, the senior, who was pressed into almost emergency duty at tailback at the beginning of the season because of injuries. They can't get him off the field, Don.
So listen, Chris, Brandon, number 1, offside kick to begin with. Number 2, you got the Jackets jumping offside. Now, who's nervous? Who's nervous?
Well,
is this just another game?
That's a
Who's
Southern Lee
nervous?
1st down. There's the hand back to Ingram again. Not so much room this time. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and not much else.
I'm not supposed to be biased, Emma, but you know, you did make the comment that it was just another game for Lee Senior, and you see a trick play right out of the gate and then offsides.
All right, this Lee County defensive line features 2 Division I commits. The much heralded number 10, Desmond Evans, the number 1 recruit in the state of North Carolina, is lined up at right end. Right next to him at defensive tackle is DeAndre Dingle Prince. We'll call him DDP. We'll call his number many, many times tonight. Keep your eyes open for number 50.
E.J. Fox on the false start.
Who's nervous now, Don?
I think
all
the
right,
kids,
2nd
I
and
think
15
both
coming
of the kids
up.
are a little bit jittery.
I'm sure that all of these kids are fired up. Like you said, these kids have played Pop Warner ball together. They played middle school together. You've got family members that play on different teams. You got cousins playing over here. Yeah, this is a small community with 2 schools. Looking for Tanoa Lockley. There's pass interference on the play.
Absolutely.
Going to get 15 and a 1st down on that one as Lockley was dragged down by Jaden Chalmers. That's a matchup that'll be fun to watch all night.
That's exciting, and that is the North Carolina recruit also.
Yes,
number
the
1.
Tar Heel future. I've talked to him. He believes he'll play cornerback at UNC.
Well, he better clean up his act if that's what he's going to do.
Number 1, Jaden Chalmers, and I don't mean this to be funny. Even at UNC, he's not going to face too many wide receivers that are faster than number 3 for Southern Lee, Tanoa Lockley, who's a legit 4-3 guy in the 40. All right, Lockley down here to the near side, set up on the left, and there's another fearsome receiver up there at the top, E.J. Fox. Southern Lee comes out, same formation, running with a wingback, 2 halfbacks in the backfield. Ingram is the up back. He'll get the carry again. He's got a head of steam and picks up 8 on the play, close to another 1st down.
Big Rodney Ingram right there on the play. And, you know, he came back from a big injury, Chris and Brandon, a couple of about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he started out tentative. His first couple of games back, he was a little tentative. He kind of went down on the first hit, but now you see he is back full force in action. You can't bring that train down with one person.
Well, we've been back and forth between both schools with our coverage this year. This is as effective and as quick as I've seen Ingram this year. Ooh, jump on the by the defensive line there is not called. Ingram's going to have another 1st down as he flipped forward for about 3 yards. And that's another Southern Lee 1st down. All right, Southern Lee. I talked to 50 people about this game this week, Don. And my statement to them was that I believed that if Southern Lee was going to score with any regularity in this game, it was going to be on big plays. I didn't feel like they could – ball's out. Ugh. And exactly the opposite of what Southern needed. I said they would struggle to sustain drives. That had the makings of a good one there, and Ingram puts the ball out. And he has had some fumble issues here lately. Big play in the game as the ball's knocked loose by Desmond Evans. and it'll be going the other way for this Lee County offense. You saw a methodical pace in the huddle from Southern Lee. You will not see any such thing from Lee County. I don't even know if they know how to huddle.
No.
They are led onto the field by senior quarterback Colin Johnson, a 3-year starter. His record in terms of wins and losses is amazing. Goes play action on first down, scrambles. He can get you with his legs, wings it out there, has a man, picked up across midfield and all the way down to the 45.
Tackle by
Tyreek McKindle, the sophomore wide receiver, is a future megastar in the state of North Carolina. And he is the guy in the passing game that they'll go to when they need a play. Makes a big one there and gets him into Cavalier territory. All right, Johnson hands to Bullware. Bullware puts it out.
Fumble.
It's out, and they may have given it right back as they uncover. Bullware was able to get his own fumble back. A.J. Bullware, another one of the Division I talents on this team. We're expecting an announcement, Mr. Bullware, in the next couple of days. I have the inside skinny on that. It's narrowed down to 2 schools. We'll see where he goes. Bullware on the carries, got space, got a crease, dances out of a tackle, runs over a man, and after a gain of 18 has another Lee County first down. The Jackets are on the move.
Yeah, the defensive player of the week last week, John Wilson. He just ran right past John Wilson and then ultimately tackled there by West Kidd.
All right, Johnson from the gun. 1st and 10. Drops. Looking down the field. Plenty of time. Now dances around. He's going to go down. Elijah Barrett drags him down. Southern Lee with a big play.
Yeah, Elijah
gets the Jackets off schedule. It'll be 2nd and long.
Elijah Barrett along with DJ Williams in there on the sack. Loss of about 6 yards there. 3rd down. You know, the Cavaliers play a lot of folks. You know, Cavaliers, they're a small 3A. Lee County's a big 3A. So a lot of the kids on the Cavalier team play both sides of the ball. So it's going to be important for them. If they're going to do something, they need to do it early.
All right, Johnson looking at the sideline for signals. And this is a wrinkle we have never seen before from Lee County. Lee County is signaling in 4 different sets of signals to the offense using visual aids. Bullware trying to get outside, can't, gets back to the line of scrimmage, taken down by a pair of Cavaliers.
Big tackle there by Julian Barnes. Boy, he stepped up tonight. Also Stevie Cameron in there on the play for the Cavs. So that's going to force, what do we got here? Is that 3rd or 4th down, Chris? 3rd down?
3rd down, 3rd and 16 coming up for the Cavs. And this is where the for the Jackets, this is where the Jackets struggle. There's not a whole lot of consistency from the passing game. They do well in play action situations. They run some screens, but when they have to throw the ball down the field, they've not been terribly effective. We'll see what Coach Purdue's got dialed up here. Johnson drops. Pressure coming. Has McKindle outside, who reels it in down close to the 10-yard line. Jacket first down inside the red zone. Beautiful play by McKindle.
Yeah, that was a really good pass. A nice concentration there by the receiver. Looks like that we may have an injury there on the Cavalier side of the ball.
Well, McKindle employing a savvy little tactic right there. He was late getting his hands up in the air so that he didn't tip off the defender. Snatched that ball up late, and there is an injured Cavalier.
A.J. West is coming off. Kenyon Palmer's coming in for his replacement. Looks like he may have twisted an ankle.
All right, no timeout on the field. He managed to get off on his own. Not sure he shouldn't have just sat down there and given his team a time to talk about this.
So we were here for the Anson game, right?
Yes, sir.
So what did Anson do in the first 3 quarters of that ball game to stay in it and actually take the lead over these Jackets?
What did they do? Is that your question?
Or what did the Jackets not do?
All right, Bullware picking his way down inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4, maybe the 3.
Because they had the Jackets number for 3 quarters until weather took over.
I'm going to tell you that I honestly, there were a couple things. One, their quarterback, Rourke, played out of his mind. Absolutely played out of his mind. He continually scrambled out of trouble, made plays down the field. They had some amazing plays on his back in the passing game. And offensively, Bullware was nursing a lower ankle or a lower leg injury, an ankle injury. And the rotation of backs that they were employing frankly, hurt the continuity of the offense, I felt like.
It just looked like it was the perfect storm for Anson. What a horrible opportunity. And they lose all their mojo, their momentum, and it allows the Jackets to get ready and get 2 more days of rest for Boulware to come back out and just completely take over on Monday night.
Well, here's the other part of the situation that people don't put together with that game is Lee County came in as an enormous favorite, probably a 5-touchdown favorite, and they returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. And I'm sure that the air went out of the sidelines, and they're like, here we go again. These guys come down from, doggone near Charlotte, and we're out here for 2 hours beating them up. But then Anson got rolling, and Lee County couldn't keep anything sustained on offense. And Anson County, had they finished that night on Friday, or finished that game on Friday night, I like Anson County's chances. When they had to come back and finish on Monday,
no way. That pretty much decided
no,
it right there.
And for those of you that don't understand what was going on, with about a minute left in the third quarter, the game was suspended. Anson County was up a touchdown on the 1-yard line, 3rd and goal. They punched it in on the first play when the game was resumed, so they were up 2 touchdowns. Lee County scored 4 touchdowns in about 5 minutes and won the game handily. All right, on 4th down, Boulware takes it around the corner, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jackets.
Chris, I'll say for our audience, if you're wondering where Brandon Atkins went, he got a little hungry. He left the building. He went to Zaxby's to get him some chicken.
The Chipotle chicken sandwich, I think, is the new thing.
That's
all
where
right,
he went.
all right.
He'll be back here in a few minutes.
All right. Oh, now some trickeration from Coach Perdue and the coaching staff as they come out in one of those gimmick sets. I'm sure there's an official name for that. I'll have to ask Steve what he calls that play. But now they're into a traditional set. Kick is down, or hold is down, kick is up. Kick is good. Lee County 7-0, 5:42 left in the first quarter. The Brick Bowl, you're watching the NFHS Game of the Week. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag?
No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
All right, welcome back to Sanford, North Carolina, crosstown rivalry. Lee County, the Yellow Jackets hosting the Cavaliers. Jackets came out and attempted an onside kick to open the game. Southern was able to recover, had a nice drive underway until they fumbled it away. Lee County took advantage and marched down the field without a whole lot of resistance to score the first touchdown of the game. 7-0, 5:42 to go in the first quarter. Trey Underwood the kickoff. Deep for the Jackets, that dynamic duo of Tanoa Lockley, number 3, and E.J. Fox, number 4. Either one of these guys can gash you, and there's zero chance that this ball is being kicked long to him, Don. I'm just telling you that right now. There's no chance they're going to kick that ball to him.
No, I think you're right. That's the last thing they want to do is kick it long to Noah or EJ and let them have a big run back. But I also don't expect an onside kick either.
No, it'll be a high spinner. It'll be a high short spinner to one of these upbacks. I was completely wrong, and I'm baffled by the decision.
That's going to be EJ.
EJ Fox at the 12 has a head of steam, trying to get around the right side, turns it back up inside. Nice return all the way back out to the 30. I am stunned. But didn't turn out too badly for the Jackets. Good field position for the Cavaliers. They take over at their 30. DeAndre McAllister yet to throw a pass, and this has been sort of the MO for Southern Lee all year, really. They converted their offense to a triple option at the behest of head coach Ken Neal this year. That's his baby. They've had mixed results with it, but what's invariable is that they are going to run that to begin a game until you show them you can stop it. All right, the hand is up the middle. This is Rodney Ingram on the carry.
All right.
Ball came out late with, but they're going to call him down at the 35.
Two things I like, Chris. Number one, he did have one pass to Tanoa. That was a pass interference call.
My mistake.
But number two, I like the confidence builder there for Big Rodney Ingram. Give him the ball. He turned it over. 7 points on the turnover. Give him the ball again. Show him that you got confidence in the young man.
All right, in the backfield, Don, who is lined up in the backfield with him? Is that Locklear?
It
is.
You had Nick
All right,
Locklear.
looking in double coverage, E.J. Fox
We have
terribly underthrown.
two
There's a flag as it's picked and going the other way.
And that's going to go against the Jackets, Chris. Offensive pass interference. Defensive pass
Sincere
interference.
Goldston came up with it, but they're going to say that Fox was interfered with. Not a good decision one way or the other from McAllister there, who, you know, will still make those new guy mistakes. Not a freshman, not a rookie, but he's only been in there for 5 starts, so he's got limited experience, and occasionally you'll see a decision that makes you, scratch your head a bit.
Well, it was an okay decision because you had Lockley out there, but it was well underthrown. And, I think whenever Harrington went out with his broken hand, I thought, you know what, Southern Lee's in big trouble. But McAllister has played well. He's really picked up pretty well in the system, and he's undefeated with that exception of just 1 loss.
Well, and, a loss in the most heart-wrenching of manners, losing on the last play of the game to Union Pines by a point. What he and this offense put together to keep that game where it was at and take the lead with 33 seconds left was nothing short of amazing. But you'll get the interference penalty here. So a first down for Lee County, or for Southern Lee. I'm going to do that all night.
Well, I was able to talk to several of the players of the Cavaliers, and the key is they need to remain confident. Even if they go down, they have to stay confident because that's why you play.
Big number 10, Desmond Evans.
That's why you play.
The Tar Heel jumps.
Yep, that's
and he's going to give 5 free ones to the Cavaliers.
2 penalties on the Tar Heels, but I will say that I talked to the young men, and regardless of what happens, they have to remain confident. That's why you play 48 minutes. You have to stay confident no matter what and keep going. You have to have the ability and stay confident.
All right, McAllister from the gun. Hands.
Look at that.
Stutter step. Ingram picks up 3, needed 5. Second and 2 coming up.
I also think, Chris, clock management is really important. Ken Neal, he likes to work the clock throughout the game. So I think that's going to be key to see how you got Rodney Ingram, you've got Keyshawn Mays, you've got Nick Locklear. You got some tough running backs. It's not like the Cavaliers only have 1 running back to work with. They've got a trio back there that they can work those horses all night. And then you throw into Noah Locklear, the deep threat.
Well, the other piece of it, too, when you're Ken Neal and you're playing a game like this, there are a couple of players for Lee County that will play on both sides of the ball. Virtually everybody on the offense for Southern Lee is going to play on the other side of the ball.
Correct.
So you can't run those guys into the ground on offense running 65 plays over the course of a game. You're trying to manage the load on both sides of the ball. Keyshawn Mays is going to get plenty of carries at tailback tonight. He's also going to play a lot of linebacker tonight. Lockley and Fox are going to play wide receiver all night and play corner on the other side of the ball. So it's a strategy almost of necessity that Coach Neal is employing, and I know it's not as exciting as, these up-tempo, quick-paced offenses that are trying to run as many plays as possible, but you've got to play the hand you're dealt. All right, McAllister rolls, got his man to Noah Lockley down the seam. He brings it in at the 10-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Over top of Jaden Chalmers, and that's a big Cavalier first down.
And he's down too, but he's getting back up. You're talking about, I'm telling you, utilizing that trio back there. Of course, it's been Ingram all night, but utilizing that trio back there opens up EJ and Tanoa deep every series.
All right, so the Cavaliers with the first big play in the passing game.
And this is where they've struggled, Chris. They've struggled in the red zone. Now, we don't have Richard McCullum, and those of you who have followed Cavalier football
But
know.
you don't have Freddie McCullum either.
No, Richard McCullum is, of course, at Western Carolina. And but Daniel Pisano, number 18 for the Cavs, you cannot count him up. He's a great kicker.
All right, from the 10-yard line, McAllister takes the snap, hands up the middle. Ingram bounces it outside. He'll be down close to the 5-yard line. Second goal coming up.
Rodney Ingram is not going to go down with the first man that touches him. Probably not the second. It's going to take 2 or 3 people to bring that monster down. So, but I'd like to see him mix it up a little bit. I'd actually like to see them get Nick Locklear involved a little bit, maybe even Keyshawn Mays. We'll see.
Okay, Ingram and Locklear in the backfield with McAllister. Lockley and Fox out wide. There is a tight end in the game. Oh, snap is short. McAllister hands, that was a mess, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 8. Evans and the rest of the Jacket defensive line in there after the botched snap.
Turnover, botched snap. You're playing an undefeated team at home, at their home. You can't have those kind of mistakes and expect to win the ball game.
No, talking with defensive coordinator Rob Patterson this week, he emphasized the necessity that this had to be a clean game for the Cavaliers. No penalties, no turnovers. You know, botch snap, and there McAllister puts it on the ground. Now he's going to be taken down back in the backfield by DDP, DeAndre Dingle Prince, who is a monster on the inside of that
I'm sorry,
Jacket line.
That's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. You know what? You 2 botch snaps in a row. I told you, Chris, that they've struggled in the red zone all year long. Now, let's just hope that Daniel Pisano can get this kick in between the uprights and make it a ball game.
All right, now Daniel Pisano with a 31-yard attempt. This is this strategy employed by Southern Lee with the holder 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I've never seen anybody else do that. Lee County's coming after this kick, and they got it.
Oh, they blocked it.
You're not going to be able to block that up when you're only 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. All right, so it's snatched up and returned. Jaden Marshall, don't know which Jacket got a hand on it, but Marshall plucked it out of the air and takes it back about 40 yards back into Cavalier territory where the Jackets are set up.
All right, hey Don, I'm taking a wild guess. Is that unacceptable as
hey,
well?
Brandon, you're back. How was that Zaxby's, brother?
It was good. It's the most delicious chicken I've ever had.
Did you have the salad or the what? Did you get a
a
salad?
Sensation.
The
sensation
I had a
salad
little bit of everything.
Man, good to have you back. You didn't bring us any there, Chris. I mean, Brian.
Y'all do enough shows over here, Zaxby's.
Yes,
All right.
Brandon, it was unacceptable.
Just short of midfield, Lee County set up 1st and 10.
We must have had a holding.
A.J. Bulwer in the backfield, 4 wideouts for the Jackets. Colin Johnson, senior quarterback, looking to add to this 7-0 lead. Bulwer right up the middle. Nice tackle. Is that Cedric Douglas on the tackle? Yes, it is.
Now, Chris, you've done enough of these games. These signs they're sending in from the sideline with the signs, you said that was new.
First time they've ever done it.
Is this something for the playoffs, or is this something new that Coach Bordeaux is trying? Or?
I'm interested. Certainly, it may be something they employ for the playoffs. However, I think what they're concerned about, I think the changeup probably has more to do with the fact that Southern Lee is so accustomed to what Lee County does. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And I'm not saying that anybody might have stolen signs or anything like that, but somebody might have been stealing signs. It happened to Don Simon and the Cavaliers in the playoffs a couple of years ago, if you remember correctly.
I absolutely do. That was I didn't know if the New England Patriots were in town and Belichick was in town, but something was going on.
Well, Southern in the playoffs actually had to change what they were doing at halftime because their signals had been taped and they were being stolen, and they figured out exactly what was going on. Kind of interesting. All right. 3rd and 9 here for the Jackets. Tim led in motion.
Chris, that was at Rocky Mount, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Good memory.
Great fun.
I wasn't going to put anybody on blast, but Don Clayton apparently doesn't care. All right, Colin Johnson from the gun. Fakes to Bulwer. Now throws the screen, and that's going nowhere.
All right, no man's land.
Nice tackle.
No man's land. Are they going for it? They got the confidence. They're
I
undefeated.
think they are. No. Coach Purdue going to play it close to the vest and at least appear to punt it away
we'll
here.
See. They're going to go to the second quarter.
I think that Southern Lee, play clock's off. 25, inside 20 seconds now in the quarter.
Even if they draw them off, it's not going to be enough.
They're going to punt it away. I'm a little surprised.
No,
Big high hanging punt.
They threw a flag. He ran into him barely. I mean, he went like this. He just knocked him a little bit.
All right, well, depending upon the call.
Good acting there at Mr. Underwood.
The Cavaliers, as it stands, will take over at their own 11-yard line. They're signaling it's a 5-yard variety. He's going to take the penalty, I think Coach Purdue is, and go for it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Nope. It is the defense going out on the field. It is the offense. Here we go. He changed his mind, and We finally figured out what he's doing. They're going to take the penalty, which will set up 4th and 2 at the 44-yard line. They've moved the ball now.
But not the chains.
Just real quick, is anybody surprised by the lack of crowd on the Southern Lee side?
Very much so, sir. Very much so.
I mean, are they over here on the Lee County home side? Or?
Well, there's still cars coming in, which is interesting, but I am very surprised by the turnout for Southern Lee. A little disappointed, to be honest. All right, 4th and a yard and a half from the 43-yard line. Colin Johnson takes a snap, hands to Boulware. Boulware right up the middle. Got to tackle him. He is gone.
He's gone.
The early call by Brandon Atkins does not get burned. And with the 43-yard touchdown run, A.J. Boulware adds to his legacy here at Lee County High School.
So is it okay to talk about Boulware's offers yet, or do we need to reach out to?
No, I can tell you that I can tell you that he has been offered by several schools. The offers include Eastern Kentucky, Coastal Carolina, North Carolina A&T, and Georgia State.
Okay.
There has also been interest from Colorado State and some other schools.
Those are all fine schools.
Sure.
Don't you think an ACC team could use talent like that?
I do.
Or at least an ACC team, maybe even other.
And I'm telling you, if I was at Wake Forest right now, if I was Coach Clausen, I would be down here trying to figure out how to make it happen. But I'm not. UNC obviously is very closely acquainted with him. They've got 2 kids off the roster going. I personally feel like UNC, with Mac Brown and the politics of high school football, has to spread the scholarships around,
right?
And can't go 3 or 4 kids from Lee County. Do you think that's fair, Don?
I think it's fair.
Now, North Carolina State, Dave Doran has been on this high school campus more times in the last 2 years than any coach in the country.
That's true.
And they haven't taken a player off this squad yet, and I don't understand what they're doing.
Well, their record reflects what they're doing.
Oh, you got the hardware out tonight, buddy.
Maybe Deion Sanders at Florida State comes down and gets scoots the Boulware.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know where the young man's going to end up. And running back in particular in today's NFL, there is no traditional route to get there. I mean, you look at Tarek Cohen, who's with the Chicago Bears, who played right up the road for North Carolina A&T. Who knows? So A.J. Boulware, like a lot of high school football players, but him more so than most that I've run across, is 100% driven to play in the NFL, period.
Absolutely.
He certainly has a long way to go to get there, but his focus is singular. And you see, and some of them are just saying it to sound a certain kind of way when they say, no, I got to get an education, blah, blah, blah. He obviously knows the value of the education and the rest of that, but he makes no bones about the fact that his #1 priority in life is to play in the NFL, which is interesting. And
his breakaway speed is absolutely there.
Well, what's crazy about his breakaway speed, Brandon, is that the speed is what he relied on last year as he took over for Jameer Smith, who's now at Notre Dame.
Right.
And he played last year at 171 pounds, and that's what scared schools away. They looked at him and they're like, okay, he's a fast kid, but he's 170 pounds. You're not going to play D1 tailback at 171. It's not going to happen. He got up to 195 this year and has not lost a step and maybe quicker. And you see, once he gets a step and he's into the secondary, he's gone. But he's playing at 195 pounds, and it's noticeable. He is a stout young man. All right, Cavaliers here on first down going nowhere. Struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Second down. The second quarter is underway. Don, what needs to happen on this drive for the Cavs?
Well, no botch snaps would be nice. No turnovers would be nice.
That was 3 backs in the backfield that time, Don. Is that something you guys
you got Keyshawn, you got Nick Locklear, and you got Rodney Ingram. Thus far, only Rodney Ingram has seen the ball, so we shall see.
All right, so we're running a stack from the gun, because I still say this is too deep to be called a pistol. McAllister rolling, that's a horrible idea. You are not going to roll the pocket against this team. There is way too much speed off the edges. Larry Baldwin, Desmond Evans, yeah, they will feast on that.
When, as we were smacking our gums about, you know, where Bull Air would go, they attempted their second onside kick. Lee County did. Is that a lack of respect for this, or are they just going for the juggler?
No, to be honest, it shows respect. They are not going to kick the ball off time after time to those returners. Tanoa Lockley is legitimately the fastest player in this county and one of the faster players in the state, and you're just giving him a free opportunity to have the ball in space, kicking it deep. All right, the flip is to E.J. Fox. Plenty of space on that left side. He has one man to beat, doesn't get the block he needs, going to be very close to the first down. It was 3rd and 21. They got 20.
What I don't understand
Coach Ken
right
Neal's
there,
got a
you have to go for
decision coming up.
Well, you got to go for it. But what I don't understand right there is that, you know, EJ, he's got full steam ahead. All he has to do is run to the sticks. All he's got to do is run to the marker, run out of bounds, run to the marker. He slows down, he stops. That never works. Keep going. Why are you going to stop your momentum? 2 yards to pick up.
4th and 2 coming in. The punter
He's kicking it.
is on to the field. Down 14 with 10 minutes to go in the half. Coach Ken Neal trots the punting team out onto the field. Nick Locklear didn't get the message. He's a late man coming out. And now they're going to have to burn a timeout. And this is not going well for the Cavaliers. Clock stop, 9:45 to go in the half. We're here at the Brick City Bowl. We'll be back after these messages.
It's game day at Classic Nissan. The starting lineup. Your captains on offense, number 5, Colvin Cruz. And number 10, Jasmine Dole. Your captains on defense, number 55, Wesley Tater Womack. Number 7, Steve Dandred. Whether you're a Yellow Jacket or a Cavalier, everybody gets a classic deal. For sales, service, or parts, visit us at ClassicNissanSanford.com or in person on Highway 87, right across from Walmart in Sanford.
Welcome back to Sanford, North Carolina. Southern Lee facing 4th and 2, down 2 touchdowns. With 9:45 to go in the first half, has elected to punt, apparently. He took a timeout, had a protection issue. High snap to Pisano. Oof, Evans almost got a hand on it. Low liner that's out of bounds. And here's a flag on the play, and that will deliver a Cavalier first down. So it wasn't the most orthodox way to pick up a first down, but in the end, Pisano draws the flag, and that'll be a Cavalier first down.
That's exactly how they drew it up,
yes,
right,
sir.
Don?
Well, you know, I think it might have been a makeup call because that's exactly the exact same thing that happened previously. Just barely. I mean, Pisano,
not a lot of contact.
Pisano did a great acting job, just like Johnson did, or Underwood.
Not a lot of contact. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, but on 4th and 2, that will be enough for the first down.
Guys, as they move forward, what do they need to do? It seems like this stack, or whatever you call it, this 3-back stack is not going to work against Lee County, especially if they're going from left to right. So what do they need to do moving forward?
They've had some success running the ball up the belly with Ingram, who's checked out of the ball game, by the way. Locklear is the up back. The pitch is to Keyshawn Mays. Keyshawn Mays all the way down to the 40, gets 7 on the play, 2nd and 3. I think that they've had more success with that dive play than I thought they would. But if you're going to get the edges on this defense, you have to go now. You have to pitch that ball, swing that pass out there, whatever. If you're going to roll your pocket to one side or the other,
right,
Lee County's going to hurt you, and that's what's happened. I think the play calling,
I thought that play
was little
really
suspect
effective
on those 2 plays where they tried to roll that pocket. You're running into the teeth of that defense, allowing them to use their speed and track the quarterback down. All right, from the gun, 2 backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers in, and this is going to be close. I think they're going to get the right guard, and they do. False start there. That'll back them up and make it 2nd and 9. And a little off schedule here. Now, Don, we've seen with number 78 in particular sort of a taxi squad situation with the offensive line for the Cavaliers. Can you give us some insight into what that's been all about?
You're talking about Caden Reinhardt,
yep,
number 78 offensive lineman for the Cavs.
Is there anything in particular they're trying to accomplish with that? Are they just spelling their linemen? All right, McAllister drops now, rolls, throws it across the middle. He's got a man, E.J. Fox, makes a man miss, spins around. The third tackler will finally bring him down, but not until he's got a first down deep in Lee County territory. Cavalier first down for E.J. Fox.
Finally, to get the wide receivers. Again, I'm telling you, got E.J. Fox, you got Tanoa Lockley, you got two of the fastest guys in the conference. You got Tanoa Lockley, who could be one of the fastest wide receivers in the state, much less the conference. And you got three very powerful running backs, but botched snaps, turnover, and you're down 14-0 to an undefeated team at their house.
All right, down 14-0, but threatening here to cut that lead in half. Locklear with the carry. Off the left side is going to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Cavaliers.
So, again, this is where the Cavaliers, they're not quite in the red zone yet, but this is where they have struggled all year long. I don't know what if it's the play calling necessarily, if it's execution. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but somewhere around the red zone into, they're just speechless.
All right, Cavaliers roll back out. Same formation, 2 wide outs, tight end, 2 backs. McAllister drops, throws it out there looking for Fox. Fox goes up, and the flag comes out as he was wrapped up by the defender. Sincere Golston on the coverage. They're going to get him. He had his arms wrapped around his waist, and I think Fox is going to get that call. Discussion going on with the officials.
Chris, I wouldn't be surprised if this is offensive.
It looked to be a lot of hand fighting on that play.
It
I mean,
did.
it could go either way.
Yeah, that's right, Brandon. But it is going to go against the Jackets.
But if you like have an athlete like that, then you almost have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, you know what, Brandon? We said that about Union Pines. You know, when all he had to do was just run into him.
Y'all got the call wrong there. You said
no, I said told you it was the Jackets.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
it is against the Jackets.
Yeah.
I just set the Cavaliers up. 1st and 10.
Chris,
they can get a first down here.
Chris needs to catch up with Don and
Seriously.
myself.
Seriously. I'm working on it, guys. All right, from the gun, McAllister, 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. The hand is to Locklear. Locklear looking for space around the left side, met by a wall of Jacket defenders inside the 10. So 2nd and about 8 coming up here for the Cavs. And this, like you said, on the other end of the field, this is where they have a problem.
That's right.
Now, I have been harping for years. Before Ken Neal showed up at Southern League, I don't understand, and we're a little bit too far out at this point, but when you get into goal-to-goal situations, too many high school football teams are tied at the hip to the shotgun formation. And when you're within, 2 or 3 yards of the goal line, you're backing the ball up. Now you're back at the 11 because you're in your own backfield out of necessity, and you're going the wrong way.
Sometimes you have to play to the ability of your players. Unfortunately, as coaches, you have to really game plan to the ability. It could be a center issue. As we've seen, he's already botched a couple of snaps. So it could be a center issue. It could be a quarterback issue. But you're right, and then whenever you run the triple option, you don't know you're starting back 5, 10 yards back, and you're just giving yourself, you might as well just take a penalty.
All right, timeout on the field as the Cavaliers want to talk about this big 3rd down. We'll take a quick break, be right back to see what Coach Neal dials up.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Welcome back to the Brick City Bowl. Southern Lee down 14-0, 6.5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Threatening, though, trying to cut this lead in half. Down there, 3rd and 10 from the 11-yard line. You think this is 4-down territory, correct?
I do. I think so. I mean, I think that you have to make a statement here. Even if you don't get it, you pin it back deep. But you can't you can't beat the Yellow Jackets on field goals.
Well, not to sound like a pessimist, I agree with you that it's 4-down territory. But a big part of my decision-making process would be
bad snap.
What they look like. He throws up a prayer to E.J. Fox, who cannot come up with it, with a defender draped over top of him.
So he's going to send
Sincere
out
Golston
the
gets
field goal.
the benefit of the doubt this time. And, Don, if they place that holder 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, this was getting blocked too.
I think
you've got defensive linemen for that Jacket team that are 6'5" and 6'6" and 6'7", all they've got to do is put their hands up in the air and they're blocking that kick. This was going the other way, Don.
All I'm going to say,
early call.
As a Lee County graduate, I'm going to say that defender was not looking at the ball. If you're going to call any kind of pass interference, that's where you call it. I thought it was a well-placed ball by the quarterback.
All right, and that coming from a Lee County guy. All right, snap is down.
Oh,
kick is blocked. Early call by your play-by-play guy, and it's going the other way. DeAndre Dingle Prince comes up with it, and that was the most predictable block kick I've ever seen.
So Daniel Pisano, the kicker for Southern Lee, has had a great year thus far. Not only did he get his kick blocked, but he also went and tackled DeAndre, which was excellent, and he came up limping as well.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
All right, Lee County, 1st and 10 from the 29.
And I have to disclose as well, Brandon, I too am a Lee County graduate. My kids go to Southern Lee.
Gotcha.
So I have to,
And you're rocking the, from head to toe, you're in Southern Lee regalia.
Yeah.
It's amazing the power of the kid.
He rocks it well, too.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
looking good. Good-looking man over there.
Yeah. All right, Johnson from the gun. Man in motion. Here comes McKendall with a head of steam. Runs right over top of the tackler, but he's dragged down at the 37-yard line. All right, Lee County playing with pace. Don Clayton. If the Jackets punch this in, this could get out of hand.
Yeah, you got to stop him here. You can't let anything but a field goal happen here.
All right, Johnson from the gun takes a look at the defense. Drops, looking, has a man, and it'll be dragged down at the 45. All right, ball's at the 47. Clock continues to run. Not a factor yet. 6 minutes to go in the half. 14-0 Jackets.
Boys, I can't feel my toes.
Oh, it's not cold like that yet, Don.
You got an Ohio State guy over here calling this game. You cannot go tell him.
Here comes the blitz. The screen is to Bullware right into the teeth of it. He runs into a tackler. It's twisted up and taken down. Close to a first down. We'll see the spot. Looks as though they're going to mark him just a hair short. Yeah, he went down awkwardly there. I was a little concerned about that, and Bullware jumps off of the field.
Look good. It looks almost like a cramp, though.
Yeah, I believe it's a cramp. If you look at him.
Well, he got twisted around when he went down there, and a hush falls over the Lee County crowd. If you didn't realize that, gentlemen, they all see what's going on. Johnson hands to Larry Baldwin, to Tyreek Kendall, who just checked in the game.
Gone.
And I told you before the show.
Yeah, we said it.
That might be the #1 running back recruit in the country by the time he's a senior in high school, ladies and gentlemen. Tyreek McKendall, first time he touches the ball in the running game, goes to the house.
I'm not sure what the flag is, though.
It's a celebration penalty in the back of the end zone, I believe.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like it was thrown in the direction of Southern Lee.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It maybe some jawing, some frustration.
I'm thinking maybe.
That's a sophomore, Don. I just want to reemphasize that.
Yep.
We're going to keep you, I guess, updated on Bullware. He's still on the track.
He is down.
I really do feel like it looked like some type of cramp. So we're just going to hope for the best here.
Certainly hope for the best. All right. I had the privilege of interviewing Mr. Bullware and his family a few weeks ago for the rant.
Yeah,
he's a tough guy now. He's a tough guy.
Okay.
And they will physically have to restrain him from going back in the ball game. I promise you that.
Just give him some water, Gatorade. That looks like a cramp.
Rub some dirt on it, sir.
Yeah,
rub some dirt on it.
I will have to listen. I will have to remind as they figure this penalty out. I will have to remind. Oh, here it is. We'll wait for it.
All right. The touchdown is good afterwards. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Jackets.
2 of them?
Assessed on the
assess
on the
that
kickoff.
on the kickoff. So they'll line up for the extra point here looking to add to the 20-0 lead with 4:46 to go in the first half of the Brick City Bowl.
I will have to remind Lee County Nation that basketball season is right around the corner.
Southern does tend to roll when it comes to basketball. The question over on this side of town, Don, is whether or not, given his newly minted scholarship to play football at Carolina, whether Desmond Evans and his 6'7" frame is going to play for Lee County this year.
You know, I would think if he's smart, I would think he would probably not.
Well, I can tell you this. When I was in the Army now, where we shoot at things and break things, there were different times during my tenure in the Army where we were forbidden from playing basketball because there were so many injuries in basketball. All right, so the trick play attempt by Coach Steve Perdue blows up on a bad snap, which is kind of like salt in the wound for you, Don.
Yeah, and that was a nice tackle by Stevie Cameron. He came right through with it, and I think if he had not tackled, if he had not botched that, I think Stevie would have had a chance to at least block it.
So is that another example of like a trick play that they're planning on using on someone else? I mean, do they feel like they have this much control over the game that they're just running plays out there?
I will have the opportunity on Monday to talk to Coach Perdue, and I will ask him what that's all about, because I haven't seen it yet this year. They've pretty much lined up and kicked points all
There's
year.
a couple of things going on here, guys. First of all, I think what the Coach Perdue is doing, I think Bordeaux, I think what he's doing is he's also preparing for the playoffs. So he's testing some things out. He's trying a few things here or there because, I mean, I think if, in order for them to go deep in the playoffs, they're going to have to mix it up a little bit because people's got film on their whole season. So they got to mix it up. So they're trying some new things out.
All right.
Are we going to see a third onside kick here, potentially?
You know, with all the momentum right now, the last thing in the world they want is a splash play on special teams. But you're backed up already. So if you do anything other than a traditional kickoff, you're conceding the ball, you know, on your own side of the 50. I don't know, kind of a tough call here. Kick it away. Hope your coverage team's got this. Lockley lined up on the left, Fox on the right. Lee County moving around. See what Underwood does here.
They're taking their time.
They are, and it's one of those high, short spinners. It's going to go out. No, it's not going to go out of bounds. Fielded by Locklear at the 42, and that's about as good a result as you could hope for, isn't it, guys?
For who?
For Southern League, yes.
For Lee County. I mean, there were a lot of ways that could have ended up worse.
So I guess
backed
your point,
up 15 yards.
Your point is you don't want to kick it to some of the best athletes in the conference.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't, and if Coach Neal is going to continue to line them up deep where I know where they're at, I'm going to continue to kick it short. I think if I were on the other side of the ball, I might mix it up and put one of those guys up with the up backs and one of them deep, but I don't know that I have a good answer for it. All right, McAllister from the gun, same set they normally employ, 2 wide receivers, a tight end. The hand is up the middle. This is Ingram with a head of steam and a big collision at the 44-yard line.
It would be good to see the Cavaliers sustain a drive here and come away with 7 points before halftime, and I think that would give them a lot of confidence. If they go here and they do not score on this drive, I think it's maybe a foregone conclusion.
Well, I think if you're Southern League, you got to look at the man-to-man coverage. It's one-on-one coverage of the wide receivers on the sides.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon.
All right, 4:11 to go. Clock running. Cavaliers need to get on the board before the half.
There he goes to Noah Lockley.
And he's underthrown, but Lockley, nice play. Chalmers got before. This time he makes the play. The ball was a little underthrown, but Chalmers tracked it down and is able to bat it away over top of Noah Lockley. Nice play.
I'm proud of McAllister. He's played well this year. He really has. He stepped up, but Thomas Harrington, touchdown right there.
All right, McAllister, something else, and as we have the wide shot during the breaks, you'll see is DeAndre McAllister physically goes to the sideline on every play to get the call from the offensive coaching staff. And when they're on the near side here, or the opposite hash, that's a lot of running. And I just admire it, and boy, I tell you what, that one got blown up.
For these plays,
Dalmas Jennings got in there and wreaked havoc.
That was a little short pass to the right side. It was should have been a quick developing play, but you got to make sure that's on the mark if you're going to do that. But, you know, some of the plays that they're trying to run just seem like they need a little time to develop. And I like the last play, Donnie, where they went downfield. They're on one-on-one coverage on both sides of the field. You just got to keep going there.
Oh, they will in the second half.
Okay.
They're going to go 4 wide, and they're going to throw that thing around the yard. Oh, and again, they get this one's 15.
Yeah, I believe this was going to be 15.
That was 15. The last one was close. That one was not.
So that's going to put them like on the 3-yard line, right?
3.
No, this will be a first down. Is
Yeah,
what
it's a
going
first
to be.
down.
Oh, a first down. Okay.
Yeah, that's a 15-yarder. Going to put him in jacket territory.
I say like kickoff, punt again. That seems to be the most effective.
No, man.
Play. I'm just kidding, man. That was a little tough. I apologize.
Your blue and gold is showing through your beautiful fleece jacket.
I really didn't mean it that way. But
all right, that is the 15-yard variety. That's a first down for the Cavs. So a little bit of a momentum swing. See if they can take advantage of the opportunity. And Dom, we've seen this. I was being a little flippant with it but they're going to throw the ball in the second half. They're not going to come out and run the option. I think that's a foregone conclusion, is it not?
Well, I don't think I didn't think you were being flippant with it at all, because it's absolutely a foregone conclusion, because what are you going to do? I mean, the clock is your enemy.
There are some observers who scratch their head a little bit. Why does it take an entire half of not running the offense effectively before you flip around and employ your athletes wide?
What?
All right, McAllister fakes, throws across the middle, a pop pass to Fox, a little bit behind him, but not a bad idea. Like you just said, Brandon, something quick developing. Get it out of there.
Yep.
Let him build a little confidence.
And I think just listening to you guys, like, you have to abandon this after the first quarter. Like, I mean, when you're down 14, you got to abandon this game plan and start trying to move the ball downfield, because they're not buying it. Like, Lee County, they're going to be all over this type of stack, whatever you want to call it, running back scheme.
All right. From the gun, McAllister. 3 wideouts now. No more tight end.
Another ball.
It's rolled back. Oh, Keyshawn Mays takes the pitch. Got ahead of steam. Hard running down inside the 35-yard line. Be a little bit short of the first down. Clock is at 3.5 minutes to go. Stopped as the ball carrier went out of bounds.
So, guys, we've seen a bunch of botch snaps. Is the football cold, or is this something that's happened all season long?
You got young offensive linemen. That's the best I can tell you.
Oh,
Don,
okay.
you got any other observations?
Nope.
Okay. I'll just chalk it up.
Not something I can say on the air. How about
chalk it up to a cold football.
All right, here we go. Third, tough spot there. They got 3rd and 4. McAllister takes the snap, hands to Ingram. No, he fakes. He keeps it, cuts it up, and is able to get the first down to the 29-yard line. That's a Cavalier first down. All right, good hard running by McAllister, and that's really the first time we've seen him pick up positive yardage in the running game. Brandon, you haven't even seen what a weapon he is in the running game, but he is a very talented runner of the football.
I mean, I know I'm aging, but is that the first time he's kept it all night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Every other read had been
I'd keep going with that.
or had been either Locklear or Ingram into the belly.
I'd
on
keep
that
it
read.
until they stopped it. I'll put it that way.
All right, only one back now, 4 wide. Kind of called this one. McAllister drops, looking for a man, swings.
Oh,
that's
no,
a lateral.
that's a
a lateral. Larry
it.
Baldwin about to pick it up. Jaden Chalmers has got it, dancing down the sideline. They're lucky he didn't figure that out quicker, but that's Jacket football.
Oh, that's
tough. Horrible mistake there by the Cavaliers. First, they weren't able to hook up and then didn't realize the ball was live. Had Larry Baldwin figured it out, he'd have still been running.
Yeah, that would have been it. That would have been 6 points right there, no doubt.
And Jaden Chalmers came late, and the body language for this Cavalier team is not good.
If you're the receiver, don't you have to realize that that's going backwards?
Yes, sir.
You do.
And go pick it up.
Yes,
you do. But the other part of it is on the Southern Lee sideline. I don't know if they were hollering at the players, but I also don't know if there was anybody out there that could make a play.
Right.
The only players that seemed close to it were Baldwin and Chalmers. There's A.J. Bulware back into the game, has a first down, gets 12 on first down. 2.5 to go first half. And I said earlier that a third touchdown to make this one tough a fourth one may be the first nail in the coffin. All right, ball's at the 42-yard line for the Jackets. A little bit of change up on the offensive line there. Everybody checking their wrists. Now, when they're checking their wrists like that, there's something coming out of the ordinary.
Is that right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's
when
not
all
something
of
they're
the
used to play.
all the play know the plays. They don't run that many plays, so there's something. Now, see, that's weird.
Are you sure they just weren't checking the time? Like they're looking at their watches?
That may have been what happened.
That would be you're looking at me, Brandon.
That may have been what happened. That was weird because normally on an offense like this, when you see everybody go to the wrist, am I right, Don?
You're right, brother.
You know, there's something out of the ordinary just got called.
They probably got about 10 plays on their wrist. They run 5. So if it's one of the other 5, they're going to check it to verify. Look, see?
And it may have been something different with the blocking scheme.
It might also be where they're saying my girl's waiting for me at Zaxby's.
Could well be. There's Bullware running through tacklers, dragged down by his head, close to a first down. Third down coming up.
Maybe they were just checking their Fitbits to see how much Zaxby's they could eat tonight.
Maybe, brother.
Ooh, they're going to eat so much Zaxby's. They're going to have to go to First Bank and get a loan to pay the bill for all that chicken. But I guess if they needed to, throw it into a car, they'd go to Classic Nissan, get the Nissan Leaf and fill the back of that joker up with chicken.
Delambert's a true pro in terms of the average.
No, no. I can't. I don't hold a candle to Trent. Trent can tie every one of our sponsors together in one long story. It's amazing. All right, Johnson pitches. Larry Baldwin on the carry. Baldwin with a head of steam, running hard, running through tacklers, down inside the 20-yard line and into the RE/MAX red zone. One more time for the Jackets. 51 seconds ago. Clock is now becoming a factor toward the end of this half.
First down,
Jackets.
Would you guys agree with this assessment? If you're Ken Neal, head coach of the Cavaliers at halftime, you pull a little Aaron Rodgers and you go RELAX.
Relax, baby. I agree with you.
The throw is to McKendall. McKendall bouncing off tacklers and into the end zone. He just teleported through 4 Cavalier tacklers into the end zone. Tyreek McKendall, that was ridiculous. And if the body language for the Cavaliers was trending badly before, it's getting really bad now. All right, 28.5 seconds to go in the first half. All Yellow Jackets.
They're running the same. Oh, they started to run the same trick play. Now they're lining up again, it looks like, for the traditional field goal.
All right, Underwood on to kick it.
All right, extra point, sorry.
Underwood on to kick it and stretch the lead from 26 to 27. And he does.
Yeah, I said, I was a Lee County graduate, but if you go about 10 yards directly in front of me and about 8 yards to the left is where I met my lovely bride of 23 years.
Oh, really? That's so awesome.
Yes,
that's
sir.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
That is really good. That's really awesome.
All right, 28 seconds to go in the first half here at Paul B. Gay Stadium. The Yellow Jackets out to a 27-0 lead. We'll see if the Cavaliers can answer before halftime right after this break.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag?
No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
All right, welcome back to Paul B. Gay Stadium in Sanford, North Carolina, the county seat of the county of Lee. It's a beautiful country, isn't it?
So, yeah, it is. This is the county seat.
Yes.
So we also have, what do we have? We got Jonesboro, we got Cumnock,
Broadway,
and we got Mamers. No, that's in Harnett County.
Yeah, that's in Harnett.
What else?
So you got Broadway, Jonesboro,
and Cumnock.
Lizard Lick.
Oof.
Ugh.
Ooh, a little hesitation by Locklear there.
Hey, you guys have been talking about Baldwin a lot. That guy broke about, 7 tackles just then?
Yeah, Larry Baldwin's beastly. He's beastly, but Larry Baldwin plays middle linebacker for this team.
How old?
He's a senior.
He's a senior. Okay.
He's a senior, and he is a guy that's being courted by smaller schools. Not quite tall enough probably to play linebacker at the next level. Built like a like a stone.
Tell that to McCaffrey, man.
Oh, Baldwin's nice. No, Baldwin's future at the next level is on defense. The coaching staff assures me that he can play safety at the next level. They just trying to get him a chance. So he's been in conversations with different schools. They're hoping that he gets an offer to go play at a larger school. He's got some Division II JUCO type offers. But yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. All right, timeout taken here by the Jackets.
So my daughter told me this was for Lee County. It was supposed to be a whiteout. It's too cold to ask for a whiteout.
I mean, how many people, when you're going to your winter coat selection, you have limited options. You know what I mean? There may be some people that are here in white, but it's only because that's a color of jacket that they have. This is winter coat weather.
I didn't have, the last time I had an all white was my triple fat goose my white jacket when I was in college.
Oh, I think, a white winter coat is probably a bad idea from jump. I mean, can you imagine trying to keep that?
Well, you listen, Brandon, the kids have done it for the most part.
They have. My daughter and her friend pulled it off. And they got mad at me. I started yelling, "Let's go Cavaliers" in the house, and they got mad at me, dog.
Oh, wow. wow.
Did you tell them you were talking about Virginia?
All right. Cavaliers set up in the pistol some more.
I say go deep here. You have nothing to lose.
All right, McAllister flips it out, has Keshawn Mays. Gonna have to do some work. Mays upended, nice open field tackle on the play. Darion Jennings, the freshman linebacker, the only freshman that gets significant playing time for this Lee County defense, number 43 with a great open field tackle. And another timeout here, 9 seconds to go.
All right, boys, let's go a little bit off topic here real quick just to keep it interesting. All right, so we are slightly over the midway point in the National Football League. Top 3 teams, AFC, NFC. Chris.
Ooh. AFC, with Mahomes back, they certainly have to be in the conversation for the top 3. As long as Tom Brady is standing upright, New England's in that conversation.
I like Baltimore.
And I'm going to have to go with you, B. I think that Baltimore, they answered a lot of their doubters with the win against New England. Yes, that offense can work. Is it going to work in the postseason? Is it going to work in bad weather? How many times are you going to ask different questions about it? The bottom line is it can beat most of the teams in the NFL. So that would be my top 3 AFC. Brandon, you have any other criticisms, or you got
Chris
the same
hasn't
thing?
watched NFL. We got a deep pass coming up here.
All right, floats it out there. That's going to be picked. Uh-oh. This is Jaden Chalmers, and if he gets runs into his own guy.
He sounded disappointed.
Little disappointed with that. Yeah, that'll bring us to the end of the half. The second pick by the Yellow Jackets in the half. This one's on the verge of getting out of control. 27 for the Yellow Jackets, 0 for the Cavaliers. The first half of the Brick City Bowl is in the books.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Welcome to the Classic Nissan Halftime Report.
Pisano to kick off, so Lee County not only goes into the half with the big lead, they will receive this kickoff. First kickoff of the day for the Cavaliers. And here comes the onside kick. They're not even trying to disguise it. The ball's laid on its side. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it from here through the camera. And Lee County has seen it too. So a little knuckler kick down taken by Jordan Batts at the 39-yard line. That's a senior play right there. You see him?
Yeah.
Field the ball, roll over, boom. Yep. Just like that.
Just like a fumble.
Jordan Batts, one of the senior leaders of this team. He's a program guy who really you know, this year has made an imprint on both sides of the ball. Those are the high school football players you love, the grinders that just kind of grow with the program, and has gotten himself to the point where he may play on Saturdays. And a couple of years ago, that was, you know, a pipe dream. Kylan Johnson from the gun. Fakes to Bullware, looking down the field, has a man standing wide open. That's Tyreek McKendall. McKendall dragged down at the 30-yard line. That'll be 32 on the play and a first down for the Jackets. And they came out. They will run this score up, Don. You do know that, right?
Oh yeah, Stevie Cameron on the tackle there. So we went off the air there, and we were talking about the Jackets and how they were moving the ball through the air tonight. And there again is another example of Johnson pushing the ball down the air.
All right, Bullware with the carry up the middle, dances. Now carrying a group of tacklers, has 9 on the play, second and short for the Jackets. Yeah, Steve Perdue is not going to go out of his way to embarrass anybody, but he has a lot of guys in this program that don't get a lot of playing time, and he will start rotating these guys in and will continue to run that offense.
As he should.
All right. Yeah, everybody looking to the sideline with the new visual aids over there. There's colors and a combination of numbers. No telling what they mean. Johnson checks his wristband one more time. Looks at the defense. Pressure coming up the middle. Drops. Good protection. Has his man, overthrows McKendall as he got tangled up with E.J. Fox there. Ball well overthrown, but that protection was impressive. A-gap pressure coming, double A-gap pressure from the Cavaliers, and stood up.
If Kenyon Palmer had just stood up on his toes, he probably could have caught that. An interception touchback.
All right, 3rd and short for the Jackets.
Chris, it's a nice, balmy 37 degrees here tonight in Lake County.
You know, Don, there are days where I would really complain about it being 37. However, I have been in this very press box when it's been 37, and there's been about a 25-mile-an-hour breeze coming through to go with it, and there is none of that. So I'll take what we've got because it could be a whole heck of a lot worse.
I do agree. And it is football weather, but I'll have to disagree with you on one thing. There's nothing box about where we're at. We have been pushed out of the box.
We are on a platform.
That is correct.
All right, first down. That's a Pentair first down for the Jackets inside the Remax red zone. Ball at the 19. Johnson snaps. Oh, my gosh, he had Batts, and Batts had room to run and tried to take off before he reeled it in. He'll be thinking about that one. All right, 2nd and 10 coming up. Yeah, this is the press platform to the left side of the press box here.
Yes, it is. And Brandon left at halftime, went back to Zaxby's, and needed to get him another one of those
Chipotle chicken sandwiches.
Yes, he did. Hopefully he brought some nice fresh baked cookies.
Yes.
They got some nice cheddar cheese.
I think he has a beverage for me, though.
They have a nice deep fried cheese bites, too. They are really good.
All right, McKendall in motion. The pitch is to Bullware. Bullware looking for room around the left. Ooh.
Nice tackle
nice tackle there.
Brought down number 45, DJ Williams. A really good tackle there, open field tackle by DJ.
Talk about DJ Williams for a little while. He's one of the more unheralded Cavaliers. Plays really on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Virtually every snap of the game at this point.
On defense for the Cavs, you're going to hear about John Wilson, Cedric Douglas. You're going to hear about Elijah Barrett, Stevie Cameron. You're going to hear those guys. But DJ Williams, you don't hear him a lot, but he is an unsung hero a lot for the Cavs this season.
All right, 3rd and short. Andis Bullware, he's up the middle, and he's into the end zone. A.J. Bullware, touchdown Jackets.
So, before halftime, Brandon, you went back with us. Before halftime, we talked about the AFC top 3. Top NFC, I got the Seahawks, I got the 49ers, and I got the Saints. You guys, what do you think?
I'm going to have to say right now.
Don't say the Cowboys.
No, sir. No. I'm going to go definitely with the 49ers. I was on the 49er tip ahead of most people, and I believed in them. And it's funny because –
yeah, Chris called him when Montana was with the 49ers. That's how early it was.
Now, I wasn't quite that early. But I'm going to tell you what concerns me about the 49ers. First and foremost, let's get it 100% clear. 49ers to me are the team to beat in the NFC, period.
Yes, I agree.
Now, that said, a lot of people are making that judgment without having paid much attention to what's really going on the field. The weakness on that team right now is Jimmy Garoppolo. And I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they're undefeated and he's doing his thing. He's putting up some numbers. The offense is prolific. I'm concerned about the limitations in Garoppolo's game.
You know what? You're just saying that because your wife has a crush
My
on
wife does
Garoppolo.
have a little bit of a crush on Jimmy G, so there's that. No, I honestly, the run game, what they're able to do in the run game, Kyle Shanahan is the best play caller in the NFL right now. They have a stable full of backs that can do a lot of different things. They block up everything well. Their defensive front is amazing. They're not a perfect team, but I do think they're the best team in the NFC right now. I'm going to have to say the Saints are in that conversation.
That's my Super Bowl pick. I picked it. You can go on record, look at it. 4 weeks ago, I picked them for the Super Bowl. And champions.
And the third team, I would have to. I'm stuck probably choosing between Green Bay and the
Seattle.
Well, you know that
Seattle
game,
Seattle. That offense is limited. Oof, big hit, and the ball comes loose. Did the Jackets get to it, or did the Cavs get back down on it?
I think
Cavs pick it up. They'll have 1st and 10, down 34-0 with 9:30 to go in the third quarter. If the Jackets are going to, or if the Cavaliers are going to get back in this, they need to do something right now. But I would say, yeah, I'll give you Seattle is in that conversation, but I'm not going to call them the third best team outright. I'm going to say it's a toss-up between Green Bay, the Rams, and the Seahawks. That's the best I can do for
That's
you.
fair. That's fair.
That's your game coming up, right? The 49ers and the Seahawks play this weekend, so that should be very telling.
Yep.
Seahawks may upset them, but I'm going to tell you, that 49ers team, if they stay healthy, is going to be tough to beat. They do a lot of things really well.
Where's that game,
Lockley
Brandon?
dancing. And
I don't know, but
boy, I tell you, Lee County, there are guided missiles flying around on that defense right now. The Cavaliers a little dejected, playing a step slow, and the Jackets are energized, trying to take somebody's head off. 2nd and long coming up after the negative play. All right. 2nd and 15. I've commented a couple times.
That game is at San Francisco.
Yeah, so if Seattle goes down there, that's an opportunity for a statement game from Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
Indeed. Absolutely.
All right, pre-snap penalty here.
So
hard to tell with this is the first time we've been at Lee County this year, and there have been issues with the play clock. I'm not sure what's going on with the play clock today, so we can't keep track of that.
By the way, if you want to turn yourself into an overnight millionaire, set up a hot chocolate stand or a coffee stand, because that's what the wait is over there, plus bathrooms are an issue. I'm just letting you know.
Well, on a night like tonight, you know, there are 2 banks of bathrooms here at this facility, and I don't know why we don't have the second bank open. It's not my responsibility. Hasn't been my problem. I haven't needed to use the facility. Jackson Lamb goes high, almost reels it in with a great pick, but again, we see a throw into double coverage. 2nd and 9 is going to turn into 3rd and 9 now.
So we talked about, Chris, you're talking about Garoppolo. Obviously, Belichick saw something there, traded him away. Was that a Belichick, Kraft, or Brady decision?
Oh, Brady doesn't want anybody prettier than him in the room. You know that much. Chris, you're giggling, but isn't that the truth?
That's a pretty man. Just ask Mrs. Delambert. She'll tell you. You know, was it? You say was it a Belichick, Kraft, or Brady call? You know, you sell high. And, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo was this mysterious figure that everybody thought was that good. So, you know, you can get value for him when you can get value for him. And, you know, him sitting on a bench somewhere, McAllister tackled on the play. Des Evans comes bouncing out of there after the sack. Sure to get his number on the screen.
I'm going to say that it was a Brady
Kraft
Kraft decision. That's what I'm going to say.
agree.
I don't think Belichick wanted to let him go. I think it was Brady and Kraft.
I think Belichick probably didn't want to let him go because Belichick had his eye on life after Brady.
Yeah.
And as much as, you know, Brady thinks that he can play until he's 70,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that Belichick at this point is thinking, you know, any minute now, the magic's going to wear off and we're going to need a new quarterback.
I think Kraft made that decision when he was laying up on that massage
That's a very strong possibility. Very strong possibility. All right, Pisano to punt. Clock inside 8 minutes to go. And we
Try
are
not to get it blocked.
We are in
There you go.
running clock territory here. If something doesn't change, McKendall reels it in, drag backwards for a yard or two. Jackets take over at the 31, 1st and 10.
Nice tackle there by Wesley Kidd.
Score right now 34-0. For those of you that don't know, at any point during the game, the coaches can agree to run the clock or to stop the game. But whether the coaches agree or not, if the lead gets to 42 points, the clock will run and only stop on changes of possession.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm a never run the clock guy. If you're going to beat me down, go ahead and do it.
Not in high school. And I would have said that years ago. I've been doing this long enough that I disagree with that because sometimes the physical disparity is just such you're going to get somebody hurt.
Well, let me ask you this.
That's how I feel about it. And in a game like this, you ought to have to take your medicine. Boulware bounces off a tackler, gets to the outside, taken down at the 50-yard line. He'll get 20 on the carry.
Keyshawn Mays. Well, let me ask you this, Chris. That coach, I don't know if he was in Florida, Texas, Georgia, where he was, but recently a coach was actually fired for quote-unquote running up the score on a team, 60-something to nothing or whatever it was. I mean, what do you do? You can only play. What do you do?
Now that I have very strong feelings about.
And we'll talk to him.
I mean, well, first of all, if you stop running your offense, to me, I'm embarrassed by that. You know what I mean? You're trying to humiliate me. Play ball. You know what I mean? If you're going to beat me. Play ball. Now, the running clock thing is a different animal because, I mean, once you're down 42, the game's going longer than normal anyway because you've had all the stoppages. But, yeah, with the running up the score thing, given the rules, if you don't like that, create a running clock rule.
Correct.
Create a situation like that. But don't teach, we're going to stop doing our best, guys. I don't like that lesson. That's not what I'm cut out of. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that?
I think kids are a lot tougher than we give them credit for. I mean, we all have children, and I think a lot of times we're taking it a lot harder than they are. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting take. Jackson Lamb with a great catch there. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Really great catch.
But I'm with you, Brandon. And the thing with it is you say our kids are a lot tougher than we think they are. Well, if you want to make them not tough, the way to do it is to do things like, we can't run up the score. You know what? Greatness is greatness. And I agree with you. I like your take that our kids are tougher than we think they are.
It's not that we baby them. We kind of baby ourselves as parents. You know what I mean?
All right. Another drop screen. That's twice we've seen the Jackets put a screen pass on the ground.
Well, you line up, that's the reason why they have conferences, okay? That's the reason why you have your 4As, your 3As, your 2, and your 1. You're trying to keep the athletes at the same level. That's the reason why in Pop Warner you have the weight limits, the age limits, and so forth. So you try to keep the same athletes out there at the same ability. And so that's why you want to keep going full speed. Now, if you're running up the score, if you've got a 34-0 lead or 50-0, whatever it is, you put in your second, your third stringers, but you keep playing and you keep playing your offense.
Right.
You don't let up. You don't tell the boys, hey, we're going to let up here. No,
Jackson
you
Lamb
keep
got it at
playing.
The 30, inside the 30, right at the sticks. Going to be close to a first down. Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot to it. I mean, it's funny that you say, well, a coach got fired for running up the score. Why didn't the coach that he ran the score up on get fired?
Exactly.
Do better.
Exactly.
Like you said, you match up these conferences, you create them so that the competition is theoretically equitable.
Correct.
So do your job better.
Correct.
Play better. Work out harder. That's how I feel about it.
And let's that's a good segue because you look at Lee County. Now look at Lee County's line. Look at Southern Lee's line. Okay, and both sides of the ball, right? Next year, Lee County's going to 4A. Lee County is going to be moving to 4A.
They're going to Baldwin spins out of a tackle. He's got it outside. He hits the corner. Oh, it's coming back. Baldwin inside the 10, going to be forced out at about the 7-yard line. Blocking the back behind the play. He's going to bring that back.
So they're going to adjust the territories next year is what I've been told, and which will make Lee County go back to a 4A school. Southern will stay 3A. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the division. But what I've been told by those that know more than I do is that they're going to restructure The conference, I'm not sure if it's still going to be Tri-County 6, how they're going to work it out, I'm not sure. But you can't have a 4A in a 3A division. So, but what I've been told is that there's something's going to happen, and Lee County is going to move back up to a 4A.
Well, if that is true, and I have heard those rumblings, but I haven't heard it confirmed yet, but if Lee County goes to 4A, like you said, they can't be in a 3A conference. My suggestion, and I will make this heard with some of the people that will be in the room making that decision, I would say take Lee County out of this. Lee County's going to have to go back and start playing with the Fayetteville schools again.
Yes.
And put Northwood in the Tri-County 6.
Yes. I like that. I like that idea a lot.
And you've got, that would make it Northwood, Southern, the 2 Harnett County schools that we've got, plus Triton,
so you'll
and
have
Union Pines.
Yep.
And on paper, Southern Lee probably has a leg up on those schools.
Absolutely. Well,
UP,
maybe but
yeah, but you've got UP, and we talked about this. I don't know if you and I had this conversation. I know Coach Perdue and I did on the field before the game. Brothers and sisters out there that are familiar and have been followers of the Tri-County 6 Conference, Harnett Central is going to be a force in that conference next year. That is a good ball club.
Absolutely correct.
A really good ball club that'll be even better next year. So.
You know, you're absolutely right. So you bring in Northwood. That's the one county, the one school from Chatham. Then you're going to have Moore and Harnett back in the mix again. But you're absolutely right. Football, when we're talking about football, you're going to have Harnett Central. Lee County is always going to be good. You would hope Southern Lee would improve. McAllister is only a junior, so he'll be coming back.
Yep.
So you look at that, and then Union Pines. Union Pines is going to have a lot of returners next year
Coach
as well.
Lonnie Cox blew the lid off it this year. They go 9-2, hosting their first home playoff game ever, unless something bananas happens in the seating, you know, in that smoke-filled room. But you got to feel like Union Pines is hosting a game in the first round of the playoffs. And good for them, good for Coach Cox, and good for the program.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was telling – I should tell Lonnie Cox to see if he can get something to where they can host that playoff game at Pinecrest. Because we all know how fun it was for Southern Lee to host their very first playoff game at Lee County.
Oh, here you go, Don. You're still grinding that axe. Now, I would say –
salty. Hey, I want one real quick question.
Yeah.
Y'all are talking about football only. When you're talking about conferences, teams going in different conferences, do y'all give any thought about other sports having to make that journey with them?
Well, I mean, they're going to – the other sports will be affected as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
So tennis teams, I mean, I'd be affected as 2 kids playing, one probably playing in Northwood next year. My other daughter is a senior. She's playing at Lee County High.
Well, Don is talking about it as if it is a done deal.
It's not a done deal, no, sir.
But there is speculation that Lee County is going to move up to 4A next year. And if they do, it screws everything up.
Oh, wow.
Now, the other piece of that, too, is that well, here's the thing, Don. You and I both know conferences are supposed to have 7 teams in them.
Yeah.
The Tri-County 6 is one of the only conferences in the state that has 6, and it's because Northwood didn't file paperwork to be in the conference like they were supposed to.
I remember that.
So you know, if Lee County leaves the conference, you're at 5 teams. That's not a conference anymore.
No,
the state is going to make them realign. There's going to have to be a realignment because you can't have in football. The state rules say the top 2 teams go to the state playoffs.
That's correct.
Well, you're not going to have a 5-team conference and 2 teams go to the state playoffs. The state, they're not going to stand for it. So something's going to have to happen. Here's a question. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Brandon, you're familiar with all the schools in the area. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Lee County leaves the Tri-County 6 and Northwood replaces them.
Right.
If they decided to go to what they should be, which is a 7-team conference, which would be a good 7th 3A team, given all of the different options out there? What would be a good 7th team to round out?
Well, if you wait a little bit longer, there's going to be another Chatham County High School coming into the mix. I'll just give you a heads up. I don't even know what it's going to be called, but they're already going to it's in the works to build a second Chatham County, Chapel Hill type high school. So you're going to have to put them somewhere, you know, because Northwood after this next year is going to be overloaded because that area is going to be so overgrown.
Is Central 4A? Chatham Central?
I don't know.
I mean,
probably.
Well, as we try to figure that out, so they did not go for the 2-point conversion.
I thought about that. That's very upsetting to me.
So we got.
I was going to mention
it's 41-0. We got no running clock now.
No running clock.
But
unless there's been a secret hand signal,
But
and Ken Neal's not going to. Steve Purdue's not going to offer that to start with.
Listen, I've got a great topic here.
All right.
We talked about Jimmy Garoppolo.
We did.
And we talked about how he came in. He was a backup quarterback to Tom Brady, went to San Francisco, and this is his second or third year.
This is his third season. He had the end of the one season where he came in and won 4 or 5 straight games. Then in his second season, his first full season, is when he blew his knee up.
That's right.
And now this is his third season in total for the 49ers, yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier in this broadcast that the only weak link in San Francisco is Jimmy Garoppolo.
I didn't say the only, but I said that he is a weak link. And he has the ability, but thus far coming off the knee injury, I'm seeing limitations to his game.
Okay, so would you classify Jimmy Garoppolo as being a game manager?
At this point, yes.
Okay. Can you compare Jimmy Garoppolo to then the Kyle Allen in Carolina? I remember when Kyle started his first game, Panthers were 0-2. Kyle came in and he won convincingly, and then he went off and won 5 straight until the Kyle Allen we're talking about went to San Francisco and played Jimmy Garoppolo and got completely blown out. So compared to me, Kyle Allen and Jimmy Garoppolo, both game managers in essence, and then you've got the players around them. You got C-Mac, and then you got the players in San Francisco, the defense, Carolina's defense. Talk about the differences there, and then follow it up. Brandon, you too. Has Cam Newton seen his last days as a Carolina Panther?
All right. First of all, let me say a couple things, and this might be an unpopular opinion with some people who think it sounds homerish, but I'm not sure I see a whole lot of difference between Kyle Allen's game and Jimmy Garoppolo's game to start with. So the answer to your first question is yeah, sort of. Now, as far as the Cam Newton thing, you know that I'm on record and say Cam Newton is done in Carolina. However, I have to pass the torch here to Brandon Atkins, because Brandon's been saying for 2 years anything needed to happen to get Cam out of there so that they could burn this thing down and start over. And it wasn't that he necessarily called Kyle Allen, but he said, hey, look, Cam has kind of reached his zenith, and it's all downhill from now. So Brandon was on that ahead of anybody, and I kept telling him how it couldn't happen, and now it's happened. So there we go.
The bottom line is that the receivers don't enjoy running routes.
They run into the punter. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, there's no flag.
They're saying it's tipped. Interesting call there. As Prince and his buddies came right up the gut. 1:09 left in the third quarter. The Jackets looking to get this clock a-running. Up 41-0. It's been all Jackets. This is one of those games.
Guys, are y'all surprised about this? I thought Southern Lee would put up points.
Well, here's the thing.
At least a few. You know what I mean? Like a couple of touchdowns.
Don and I talked about this a couple of different times. Southern Lee had the propensity to come out here and score a couple times, but it was going to be on splash plays. The problem is they got down and they got these methodical drives going down, and they got down to the 10-yard line, and when it comes man up and Lee County can stack the box because you can't run behind them, they're not going to be able to move them around, and they haven't come up with anything play calling wise to do anything about this. So it's been brutal. We forget that, Lee County's taken the ball away 3 times. They've, down inside the 10-yard line, Southern Lee had 2 kick blocks. You're talking about 5 turnovers. You come in here to a team with athletes like this and turn the ball over 5 times? Partner.
That's exactly what I said early on.
No chance.
And yes, Brandon, I thought it was going to be a close game. I was on record thinking that it was going to be in the mid-20s, close game, 3 or 4 point victory by the Cavaliers. I actually predicted the Cavs would win tonight, but Chris is spot on, and I mentioned it early in the first quarter. You've got a center that's botching their snaps. You got a couple of blocked field goals. You got 1 or 2 interceptions. I don't want to give him more than he's got, but at least 1 pick, a fumble.
All right, that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Let's take us to the 4th. Don, you can finish your thought on the other side. We'll hold it here. We're down inside 10 seconds. See if they're going to run a play. It doesn't appear that they're going to. Lee County's going to let the clock run out on the third quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week. We'll see you after these messages.
Pentair. Empowering people to move water. Improve water. Enjoy water. So that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
All right, welcome back for the fourth quarter from Paul Gay Stadium here in Sanford, North Carolina. A brisk night. You know, this isn't one that we're going to be crying about 3 or 4 years from now. But 10 minutes after we get out of here and get into, you know, somewhere warm for our feet to come back to circulation.
Yeah, I got a little peripheral neuropathy going on right now.
I promise it'll be a. What did you just say?
Don, in the break.
Is there medication for that? What are we doing?
Numb toes.
In the break, you were like wanting to go back to the Panthers stuff, and I will, but what does Southern Lee need to do? What do they need to do in terms of this game and moving past it and getting ready for the playoffs?
I don't know that Southern Lee's going to the playoffs.
But,
That's
I mean,
the first
what needs to happen first, and then what needs to happen?
This offense, the triple option that they run, is not going to work against teams that can't block it up front.
Okay, but first of all, can they make the playoffs?
They absolutely can.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going to happen now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the process in North Carolina, at the end of this, all of the teams will turn in their records. There is a review board who will go back through and use some algorithms. They'll use the max prep rankings. They'll use a whole bunch of stuff, and they will choose from 1 to 64 the top 64 3A teams in the state, period. Then what will happen is they will take those 3A schools and they will rank them in terms of size.
Right.
The biggest 32 of those 64 teams will go to the big 3A playoffs, and the smallest of those 32 teams will go to the little 3A playoffs. Then they'll be re-ranked from 1 to 32 based on their performance throughout the season.
So are you going to penalize Southern Lee for getting beat, obviously badly, to the best, according to Max Preps, the number 9 3A school in the state of North Carolina, who is 10-0? Are you going to penalize Southern Lee by not letting them into this?
But here's the issue: is they've got another loss out there to Pinecrest, which is one of the better teams in this in the state.
4A, by the way.
Which is a 4A school. Then you've got the loss to Hope County, which is not a bad ball club. You got the loss to Union Pines. The problem there, though, is you start looking at those wins. How many quality clubs did Southern beat? At the end of the day, without looking at the schedule closely, I'd have to say their best win is probably Harnett Central, who's a 500 ball club.
Yeah. I don't
and that's where it's at. Now, the other thing, too, and this is deeper, Don would be able to opine about this, but ordinarily, Southern would have another victory. They had another game scheduled. That game with Virginia Central was canceled, and yes, you have to play the game on the field, but it would have been a W for Southern. I'm just here to say it, which means they would have been 7-4 instead of 6-4, and they could have taken off one of those losses. Because you only turn 10 games into the state. But because they only played 10 games, they have to turn in all 4 losses.
Correct. So that Central Virginia was a dropped game, essentially.
So instead of being able to turn in 7-3, if they had ended up 7-4, they have to turn in 6-4. There's just not – I mean, it's just not a great resume.
Southern had that game rescheduled. We had it rescheduled with not with Central Virginia, but with Carrboro. We were actually going to play Carrboro. And I don't know if it was Carrboro that pulled out or if Southern pulled out. But essentially, we have to turn in all 10 games. We can't drop it.
Carrboro was rumored for 2 full weeks that they were going to be the opponent, and then it just never happened. So, like you said, I don't know if Southern pulled out or Carrboro pulled out. I would assume, based on the conversations I had with the coaching staff from Southern, that it was Carrboro because they were desperate. Marcus Gray coming in, getting some reps at the tailback position. He's another one of those program guys for the Lee County Yellow Jackets. He's been the 3rd tailback all year. So all of that sort of conspires against the Jackets. Now, all that said, the Jackets came into this game ranked in the top, what were they, 51 coming in?
They wwere 51 or 2, yeah.
51 or 52. So
in the state?
In 3A, yes.
Oh, okay.
So this loss is going to hurt but it's not going to hurt them too badly. The question is, are there, 10 or 12 other teams out there that did enough tonight to move past them? So that's where,
Well,
you're trying to show me something, but I don't have my glasses on, so there's no chance I could read
No,
it.
the latest North Carolina class ranking, 3A rankings, has Lee County as the 3A number 9 team.
Is that Southern? I said Southern came in.
Oh, got you. Sorry.
Yeah, you're asking if they can make it. If they end up in the top 64 3A, they're going to. They came in ranked 51 or 52.
You can't penalize them from getting beat by this team. That's my
Brandon,
point.
But you have to reward other teams that are out there winning tonight.
Yeah,
but they're not playing Lee County.
But normally,
at home.
But normally, Brandon, if we had played Central Virginia or Carver or whoever, we could just drop this game. This would be the game we would just drop.
Yeah,
Right.
this one or the Pinecrest, and you'd be 7-3, and it'd be hard to keep them out of the playoffs at 7-3.
Can't we just all act like this game didn't happen?
Well, that's what Southern Lee's going to do.
They're going to have to if they can move forward. I'm sure they're not going to watch this tape.
Or can we get the same people that dropped Clemson out of the college playoff for
what are they now,
no fault?
fifth?
Yeah, but here's the thing with them being fifth, guys, is that this way? Okay, so above them. Let's make sure we're clear.
Here comes the Ohio State logic coming at you right now because they're in the first place.
No, not at all, not at all. Ohio State's 1, Alabama, LSU are 2 and 3, and then Penn State's 4, Clemson's 5. Okay, LSU, Alabama play each other this weekend. So one of those teams is dropping out of the final 4. Clemson's coming in, and then the following week, Penn State, Ohio State play. One of them's going to drop out. So Clemson.
But don't you feel like
as long as Clemson beats Wake Forest, and that's not a given, but if Clemson beats Wake Forest and wins out, Clemson is going to be number 3 2 weeks from now. Period.
Don't
no matter
you feel
what
like
happens.
Raise your hand if you would love to see the Demon Deacons beat Clemson.
Oh, I would. For sure.
I would. I'm kicking myself that they lost that. Who did they lose to? Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
They scored like almost.
No, it was Louisville.
Louisville, yeah.
Louisville, where they've scored 59 points and lost at home.
Okay. So we got to go back to this. I got to hear Brandon. Cameron Newton.
Cam Newton. Okay. No, the problem is that his receivers know that he can't throw the ball with any accuracy more than 30 yards down the field. Okay, so
healthy. Time out. Healthy or not healthy? I don't care. Healthy or not healthy, he cannot. He does not have the accuracy to throw it beyond 30 yards anymore. I don't care about his foot or his shoulder. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries. He is no longer accurate.
I'll take that. But if you're Moore or Samuels, how do you feel about running your route 25 yards out with the quickness, 35 yards out with the quickness when you know your quarterback can't get you ball? It's just, and that's why, and I disagree with you guys. I think Allen is not the best, but I think if you ask Allen if he's a game manager, he's going to tell you to your face, no. This dude does not lack on confidence.
No quarterback wants to be a game manager.
Right. So would Andy Dalton. So would Case Keenum. So would Ryan Fitzpatrick. None of those guys want to be game managers, but that's what they are.
But he wins. You know, the only game he's dropped is against the 49ers, and the 49ers are going to make a lot of teams look bad.
I don't disagree with that at all. And
but no,
I said on air that the 49ers, first of all, going on the road to win is hard. Going to win against an undefeated opponent is even harder. I get that, and I'm not trying to disparage Kyle Allen, but when I look at what he is able to do with the football athletically, he's not a top 10 or 15 talent quarterback in the NFL. That's just where I'm at with that. Now, But here by the same token, though, let me make sure I'm clear on this. Tom Brady, when he won a Super Bowl 20 years ago, was by no means a top 20 or top 25 talent athletically. So Kyle Allen, he says he put on about 20 pounds over the offseason. He's got more room to put more on that frame, strengthen it up. His arm can get bigger. We're looking at Brady now, who, has never had a problem pushing the ball down the field. When Brady came to the league, he could not do that. Yeah. So the story's not told on Kyle Allen. But
by the way, I want to respond to that.
Sure.
But that's just wrong at Lee County playing Phil Collins, I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight. That's not appropriate song choice for this situation.
Talk to Pat McCracken. But, hey, listen, I know you want to respond to it, but I got to say that.
Run a clock, guys. As soon as this kickoff is caught by the Cavaliers, the clock will run and, in theory, not stop again except on change of possession.
Cameron Newton is going to be playing next year for Chicago. And
I told Chris the same thing.
Kyle Allen is going to be playing for the Carolina Panthers. And if he slips up, watch out for Will Greer, because Will Greer is the real deal, and he could very well be the next starting quarterback at Carolina.
Some people think Greer might be that guy. my concern with Greer coming out of college is his ability to push the ball down the field. But he's going to get a chance to show people that because it's not – Kyle Allen has not done enough to solidify himself as the starter without any competition in camp. Now, if he goes and takes the Panthers to the conference championship this year, Will Greer may never see the field.
Who knows?
You know, time will tell.
Well, just really quickly, as far as Cam Newton, I hated when we picked him, the Panthers. I hated the pick, and he proved me wrong. MVP, almost won us the Super Bowl. So I thank him.
No, he didn't almost win us the Super Bowl.
He
lost us the Super Bowl.
He almost did win us the Super Bowl.
But anyway, I was against Cam Newton when he failed to fall on that fumble in the Super Bowl. That told you who he was. It's the freaking Super Bowl.
There are a lot
At that
of Panther
moment,
fans,
I was gone.
Right. There are not a lot of Panther fans who are still fixated on that moment, right or wrong, and will never forgive that. And, you know, whether or not it had anything to do with sort of a change in the culture or the change in perception within the organization, we'll never know. But you talk about Cam with the foot injury this year, and Don, you hit it on the head. You know, we're blaming it, well, he wasn't right this year when he came back because the foot was hurt. Well, the foot wasn't hurt last year when it was a shoulder, and by the mid-season, I was telling these guys on the air every week, this guy cannot throw the ball down the field anymore. And then, you know, 4 weeks later, the franchise finally says, yeah, you know, the shoulder's not right. We got to shut him down. You're talking about a quarterback who has always been the best athlete in the building all the time, every time he steps on the field, and now he's not. And I don't know that he's ever going to be again, and I don't think Cam Newton is the type cerebral, accurate quarterback.
He's like
that's going to beat you that way.
He's like my neck, my back, and my back. I mean,
and
he's
my
been
foot.
hurt.
But how do you – okay, so wait a minute. What did you think about his whole little thing about sitting in the chair, drinking a glass of wine and smoking a cigar, talking about –
You clearly don't like Cam Newton. I mean, I don't
like him.
You gotta like.
Almost got loose.
You got to be able to ball to be able to pull those type of things off. You know what I mean? So I get where you're coming from, but you know, I think
there are a lot of things about Cam Newton and his image and you know his media presence that are contrived and overworked, and that was one of them.
When he looked like the DVD cover from one of the Medea movies, then that's when I kind of like said, all right, we got to move on.
Well, you know, bigger than that. I mean,
when he did the Laverne and Shirley little thing.
I got it. But the thing with the video that bothered me more than anything else is the editing was meant to sort of be choppy, like it was cinematic. But if you really listen to the dialogue, the words that are coming out of his mouth, it was chopped and re-edited, where there was no stream of consciousness, where it was him actually speaking and being honest. It's obvious that they did multiple takes and went back and chopped it up. Dude, if you're going to talk to the camera and be candid and be honest, you should be able to do that in one sitting. I do it every Monday.
Yeah, very, very well. Very well said. But when you're a multi-millionaire, I guess you can afford to edit all you want. But
well, and then when you know, when
Brandon,
it's
you said I'm not a Cam Newton fan.
I'm just glad.
He's not now.
I'm glad. Look, man, I'm not either.
No, I'm talking about you. You are not. You've been talking trash about Cam Newton for years.
I've said that they should
Keyshawn
move
Mays trying to make something happen.
I've said for a couple of years that they should move off.
Yes.
It's just time to kind of, you know, when they started losing some of the older players on the defensive side, I think Riverboat Ron, if he doesn't pull this back together in terms of this year, he's gone after this year's kind of blow-up mode. You got McCaffrey, who's easily the most exciting player in the NFL right now. It's time to move on.
I agree with you 100%.
All right, gentlemen. All right.
CMC is the new face of the Panthers. Is there a ball game going on?
We got 3 minutes to go here, and I want to, you know, I don't want to wax poetic. However, if Southern doesn't make the playoffs, this may be the last time some really, really good student athletes, some really good young men ever play football.
Yeah.
Southern Lee, if this is the last game of the career, is Jackson Lamb, not his first big play of the night, makes the pick to put this one to bed. Looking for E.J. Fox, unable to connect. But talk about some of the seniors that you've gotten to know over the years there with this Cavalier program, because obviously no matter what else happens tonight, Lee County's playing football again next week. So give a shout out to some of the seniors. Don,
definitely want to give a shout out to some of the seniors. I'm going to tell you something. Right now, number 3, Tanoa Lockley, E.J. Fox, those two young men, just tremendous athletes, great presence on the field. encouraging the underclassmen. And I see walking out on the track right now is big number 7, Thomas Harrington, our quarterback. He's a senior. We'll definitely miss Thomas. There's no doubt about that. But Thomas will be with us for baseball. Also, Keyshawn Mays. Keyshawn Mays has turned into be a great baseball player, but so he'll be playing in the spring. But he's also proven this year at running back and also at linebacker. He has proven to be really good. Rodney Ingram. I mean, West Kidd. These kids. Cedric Douglas. I mean, these kids are very athletic and you know at home. When I'm there on the PA, I'm calling these kids' name every other minute, it sounds like. Just tremendous athletes, good kids, smart kids, and got a bright future ahead of all of them. So shout out to all of our seniors of the Cavalier Nation.
All right, the Jackets running out the clock here, inside a minute 20.
Well, Chris, on the Lee County side, just really quickly, you've made comments. I don't know if they were supposed to be in private or not, but
we have
put you out there.
Brandon, we got 6.7 million people listening to us right now, so watch what you say.
But you've said at times Lee County plays down to the level of their
They have done that.
They have
done that a couple of times this year.
So what do you see with this performance here? Does that change your mind about where they're at right now in terms of?
Oh, no. It doesn't change my mind because they are still 100% capable of going and playing down to the level of competition in the playoffs. I think that this game, the fact that it was such a complete game on both sides of the ball, gives me some confidence about Lee County's chances moving forward. But here's the thing, is physically this team could win a state championship.
Yep.
They have to come out and execute. They don't run a scheme that is going to cross people up bad enough or have athletes that are at that level that they can just show up and beat people.
From a Cavalier, I would like to congratulate Lee County on an undefeated season, a really, really impressive season. Congratulations to the coaching staff and all the kids. And let's just hope that Lee County goes deep in the playoffs. Historically, the first, second round, but this team, like you said, Chris, this team has the ability to go very deep in the playoffs this year.
44 for your Yellow Jackets of Lee County. Southern Lee Cavaliers unable to score a touchdown for the 3rd consecutive Brick City Bowl.
This is correct.
So now the last 6, it's 3-3. We'll wait, just like the rest of the state, for a couple of days to find out what the future holds for Southern Lee and the playoffs. The optimists say they came in ranked 52. They'll be able to hold on and make it. The pessimists, see it another way. We'll see what's going on.
For this.
Lee County will have at least one playoff home game, probably multiple home games. We will be here to cover those. Union Pines finishes the season 2nd in the Tri-County 6. We suspect they will have a home playoff game to open the playoffs. So good stuff going on regionally. A great year for the Tri-County 6. Congratulations to the Yellow Jackets. They finished their 3rd consecutive undefeated regular season. That's an amazing accomplishment when you think about it. Colin Johnson, been the starting quarterback in all of those games. 33-0 in the regular season as a quarterback. That's pretty stout. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back to put a bow on this and bid you adieu from Sanford. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Boom.
It's game day at Classic Nissan. The starting lineup. Your captains on offense, number 5, Holden Cruz. And number 10, Jasmine Dole. Your captains on defense, number 55, Wesley Tater Womack. Number 7, Steve Dandrin. Whether you're a Yellow Jacket or a Cavalier, everybody gets a classic deal. For sales, service, or parts, visit us at ClassicNissanSanford.com or in person on Highway 87, right across from Walmart in Sanford.
Welcome to the First Bank Postgame Show.
All right, welcome to the First Bank Postgame Show. Chris Delambert, Brandon Atkins, Big Don Clayton. Hey, guys, appreciate you coming out, Big Daddy, it's been
always
forever, man. It seems like a million years since we've done a game together.
It's
You
been
used to
a
do this
while.
regularly.
I did. It's been a while. Had a good time. Thanks for the invite.
Appreciate you hanging out. And Brandon, I will see you on Monday morning, if not before, bright and early on From the Cheap Seats. Check that out on WFJ 105.5 FM here in Central Carolina, or anywhere you listen to a podcast. From the Cheap Seats with Chris Delambert, Brandon Atkins. You should stop by the studio one morning. I know you work from your living room in your underwear, so you can put on some pants and come on down to the studio anytime you want.
Don, if you want to, I can give you this jacket to cover up those Southern League colors.
To get out of here? I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
I think people
all
will be
right, tough loss for the Cavaliers. Tough loss for the Cavaliers. Yellow Jackets finish up the season 11-0. Conference champs once again in the Tri-County 6. Guys, I think we kind of talked this one into the ground. Tough night for the Cavaliers. They had opportunities early to make this thing interesting, but you can't get the ball down inside the 10-yard line and come away with no points. Twice they got backed up after they'd been inside the 10, tried to kick field goals, employed that hokey 5-yard behind the line of scrimmage situation, had them blocked going the other way.
It's just like I said, they've been struggling inside the red zone all year long, and nothing changed tonight. So.
Well, Lee County came in and needed to play a complete game. This is 2 weeks in a row that they can really say we played a complete football game on both sides of the field. I know Coach Purdue's going to be happy for about 15 minutes. You know how football coaches are.
Right.
20 minutes later, he's like, I'm going to go tear apart, tape apart, and find problems. We will be waiting Sunday. The playoff seedings will be released. We'll know who's matched up whether Southern's made it, who's got to come in here to Lee County, and we should get confirmation that Union Pines is going to get to host a playoff game. The only disappointment I have associated with that, Don, is that if I wasn't covering the Lee County game, I'd love to be at Union Pines for that home playoff game because that's a great place to watch a football game.
It really is. The Jumbotron, the whole nine.
The band,
is really
everything
fun.
is
their band
top
incredible.
shelf.
Wow.
It is a sight to behold. One of the best venues around. So that's what the state of affairs is. We will be waiting with bated breath to see if Southern Lee is in and to see what kind of draw.
Please don't. Nobody listens to me, but don't punish them for this one. I mean, Lee County would have come out here and beat a lot of teams in the state, so don't punish them for this one loss.
Well, I think it's fair to say Lee County would have beat almost everybody in the state. However, the question's going to come down with a 6-4 record as the third team out of the conference. Can Southern Lee get in? And it's going to be up to the committee to decide. We will know on Sunday. We'll let you know as soon as we do. By Monday morning on From the Cheap Seats, we'll have that answer for you, so tune in. We'll also be back Monday evening with the Coaches Show, where we'll have a chance to talk with Southern Lee coach Ken Neal about the loss and give Coach Steve Purdue of the Lee County Yellow Jackets a chance to puff his chest out and lay claim to the oversized brick trophy that is for the recipient of the Brick City Bowl.
Where is that thing?
It's in Lee County's athletic department.
Oh, okay.
That's 3 in a row for Lee County.
Yes, it is. All right. Brandon Atkins, Big Don Clayton, Chris Delambert, peace.
Thanks for watching the Game of the Week on the NFHS Network.